Hello and welcome. I am the ghost of Septandi present, here to show you the now. Unless you're watching this in the future, in which case I am the ghost of Septandi past, here to show you the past. Anyway, the point is, I'm a ghost, and today we're visiting the Beyond section of Bed Bath & Beyond to ask an existential question. Is there a Coco MAME debugging experience I am not having? Is there a built-in debugger to MAME that is unseen but still real? What's got two thumbs and is super deep? This So first up, I'm just going to demonstrate some of the things about the default Win32 debugger that are a bit annoying that I'm hoping maybe the Qt debugger will have fixed. So I have a breakpoint at the beginning of the game, and you see since I'm using the lst-to-comment tool, I get my source on the right-hand side in the form of comments. And I can resize the window, but I can't make it wider. So all this stuff here just gets cut off. I don't like it. The other thing is if I try to click drag, I can't select anything in here. I can copy what's visible to the clipboard, but only what's visible. And that just seems weird. So those are maybe the two main things about this that just kind of get to me, and I wonder, is there something better out there? And sure enough, there are other debuggers that are even built right into MAME itself. So there's this -debugger command line parameter, and on Windows is the module that is passed by default to the -debugger option. And that's what I've been using, the Windows 32 GUI debugger. If you're on Mac OS, you're getting the Coco GUI debugger by default, and it's only supported there. There is this image UI debugger. I wasn't quite as interested in this. I heard it was a bit more rudimentary, but I don't know for sure. And you can use GDB if you have the GDB stub passed to the debugger option. This lets you use a GDB process outside, and it communicates with this stub to do the debugging for you. What I was interested in was this, Qt. So this is what you get by default on Linux, but it's portable, so you can actually use this on Windows and Mac OS as well. According to this, you won't get it by default not only when you run it, but even when you build it, it will not exist in the build. So you have to rebuild with use Qt debug equals 1, if that is you're on Mac or Windows. And not only that, but in order to do that build, you'll need to install the Qt development libraries and tools to build the Qt debugger. And on the MAME Dev Tools website, they talk about the Qt debugger and give you the pacman command line to install those libraries. As you can see, they're on version 5. Do you think there was ever a version 3.1.4 of Qt? And do you think they called it Cutie Pie? So the first thing I could try, even though I know this is not supposed to work, is to just add to the command line the request to do the Qt debugger. But the optimist in me is like, hey, maybe that was old documentation and they have since incorporated it into the normal build and it's just right there. Actually, I'm going to add this before the debug. I'm going to do it like this. There we go. Boom. And this looks like my debugger, and I can see back here, no. Value Qt not supported for option debugger. Okay, so I do need to build it. Okay. So what I need to do is do a full rebuild where I do use Qt debug set to 1. I need to install the Qt development libraries and tools to build the Qt debugger. But you know, maybe this is old documentation that was written before the build environment, the default build environment for Windows had changed. You know, maybe I don't need to do this anymore. I don't want to install something if I don't have to install something. So the optimist in me, I'm just going to try to do this without installing anything just to see what happens. I mean, how bad can it get? Every time I want to do a completely clean build, I go into the build folder and I completely remove generated and MAME GWGCC. So this gets rid of all of those intermediate build files. And I should have a completely clean build at this point. So I'm here now in my MAME W64 environment. This is my new command line, and you'll see I'm doing the use Qt debug equals 1. I'm also specifying this to regenerate some of the intermediate build files. And the subset of main that I'm doing includes the stuff for Dragon, Coco's 1 and 2, and Coco 3. And then this ensures I'm using CLang so I get a nice fast link. So let's go. How many times have I done that before? I have to go into my... Here we go. And the build is complete, and as expected, it did fail. If we scroll up, that's just a warning. Don't worry about that. Let's see. Yep, okay. Yep, fatal error, and it looks like some Qt business was going down. Apparently, we were trying to include this file to help with the Qt stuff, and it wasn't there. So we do need to go ahead and install. And that command came from the documentation, MAME documentation, yes, all. Yes, I would like to proceed. And here we go, well on our way to putting 829 more megs onto my drive. Woohoo! Okay, now we're ready to go back into the MAME directory and restart the build. And this time I am not doing the regen IE, I'm not doing a full clean build, but I am doing the use Qt debug. Okay, build completed successfully, no errors. Let's try it out now. Nope. Looks like a very, very generic Win32, I don't know what you're talking about kind of error. Maybe again. No. So it's possible maybe there's some support DLLs it's expecting that aren't there, but that did get installed in the Ming W environment. So I'm going to try running it from there and we're going to see what happens. That worked. Okay. I didn't think that was going to work. Huh. And this, it looks pretty much like the Windows debugger, but I do see a scroll bar here. The font looks a bit different. Maybe the beveling looks a bit different. Huh. About the same menus. Yeah, these look a tiny bit different, but mainly the same. All right, let's try it out. We'll set a breakpoint at the beginning of the game. I hit L once, folks. L. What the heck? Okay. I've never seen this before. I don't know what that is. Okay. At least the backspace doesn't do it 4 times. That's something. I would have to figure this out. If this is the debugger I want to use, I need to figure out what the heck that is. Okay. Now let's see. Can I... Oh, I can stretch this. Nice. Ooh, I can see lots of the comment. Look at this. Oh, I can see the whole thing. Can I? No, I can't change that. Let's take a look at our options. We can look at raw opcodes, same as before, encrypted opcodes, and comments. The full thing. I can see the full thing. So that's very nice. All right, so now we're in the main loop. Let's set a breakpoint here. All right, and if I move this out of the way. Yep, looks like it's doing its thing. And if I move it back, I can see stuff. All right, let's step into some things here. Why is this highlighted in red? There's no breakpoint here. Right? 4D, 2D. There's no breakpoint highlighted in red. Okay, bug, whatever. Anyway, I'm seeing all my comments, which is fantastic. Let's rewind. I think it's Control F11. Nope. Rewind. Oh, there's no rewind. Oh no, there's no rewind. Which is odd because it keeps telling me that the rewind state was captured. But we can't, wonder if that's in the docs. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, let's return. That worked. And I can just keep stepping, and actually let's clear the breakpoints and let it rip. See what we get. All right. Now let's do run to vsync. That's an F7. Aha, that works. So this is the vector, and we're at beam y 217, 123. Again. 217, 123, 217, good, good. So that's consistent. Looks like that stuff works pretty well. That's good. What else do I do with the debugger? I look at memory. Memory window. Graphics screen. Okay. Thought maybe this might just adjust the size, but it doesn't. I thought the Windows debugger adjusted the size when I did this. You know, like how many bytes per line. Oh, that's another thing. Can I select from here? Nope. Cannot select. Can only copy what's visible. That's a real weird one. All right, let's pull this back out again. And I'm going to clear my breakpoints and go. And do I see changes here? Maybe I'm not far down enough. Oh, yeah, you could, it's funny, the rotating mountains. Okay. There we go. All right, so yeah, that's one of the features. I like how you can look at live memory without even needing to break in. So that still works. But we have no rewind, and we can't really type in the emulator for some insane reason. Huh. I thought this would be a radically different debugger, but it's not. Now, just for the heck of it, let's see what happens when I do the default debugger. Let's just make sure this looks the way it looked before. Make sure the keyboard acts in the right way. Okay, I know what this bug is. This means I have to delete the ini file. If I hit enter here and it thinks that I'm stepping or something terrible happened with the ini file. I have to clear that out. Config Coco 2b. That's better. And if I go back to showing comments, this is just as wide as it's going to let me go. Nonsense. Okay. Can I type? Yes. All right. So typing worked. As long even the same exact build, same exact environment. And this is back to being crappy. Can I rewind? Here's my rewind step. Yes, I can rewind step. Alright, so we're running. Okay, so it's back to normal. I can always go back to this. In fact, I think I'm just going to stay on this. The new debugger seems too problematic. Well, that covers my exploration of the Qt debugger on Windows. I hope you found this as riveting as I have, even though I think I'm probably just going to stick with the Windows default debugger. Anyway, it's good to know. As always, thank you for watching.